Hello everyone, it's Tracy from Cambridge Craft Cabin, and this is a design team project for Joe's Crafty pad over on Facebook. I actually had the lovely lilac kit to work with this month, and I made these little a little Tealight gift set. So you've got a box that I actually created myself. I did follow a tutorial, I think it was from Crafty Caroline on YouTube, but I found that the box actually wasn't wide enough for the tea lights I had. Now, she got hers from IKEA, mine actually were the basic range out of Tesco's, so I did have to obviously move that around a bit. So what you've got, you make a reinforced box which is nice and sturdy, and then you've also got a acetate lid, a belly band, and like I say, I used the lilac kit from Joe's Crafty pad, so that was those lovely papers and also her lovely handmade flowers. So you don't just have to obviously do it that colour. This was a Christmas version I've done for some upcoming craft fairs, so again all done for the same. Just a word of warning, where have I put it? It's always something goes wrong, isn't there, when you try and do a tutorial. Oh, here it is. Yep, just a word of warning. In each of my little boxes I did slip in this little safety warning, because obviously you don't want to be responsible for anybody burning their house down. But just basically I typed up safety warning, remove paper before burning, because obviously we have decorated them with designer paper on there. All right, so that's the box. So I will just show you quickly how to make that and the measurements. So first off, you start off with a piece of cardstock measuring 9 inches by 4.5. You score all 4 sides at 1/2 inch and then again at 1 3/8. So this is what you're left with. You then go in and remove like this L shape from the corner, so I'll just quickly show you that. So you snip up there and snip there to that line, so you snip that bit out first and then you snip that piece. Same on this side. Hopefully I'm on camera. It's hard to do when you're sitting behind. So you are left with that shape, and then you go in, you go down here to that last score line, and then you just mitre out a little piece just so you haven't got so much bulk on each of those, so like a little skinny triangle. Okay, so that is then what you're left with. All right, so up the top and down the bottom, and then what you want to do is just go round and mitre these edges. Okay, so we just come round and we mitre those, these ones at the top as well, and these ones, and this will give you a really lovely sturdy box. And oops, I haven't pulled that bit out. And then lastly, this bit at the top here. So just to that first score. All right, okay. So then you're left with this. So then what you just need to do is just to go over your score lines and burnish those. Quickly do those. Now I actually used wet glue on my boxes. That is my preferred method of sticking things. I have had double-sided tape in the past that after a time, you know, has not become sticky. I don't know about anybody else, but I've made cards in the past, made toppers for cards, put them to one side, and they've started coming apart. So now you're left with this. So like I say, now what you'd need to do is to stick these flaps. So you'd need to put some adhesive or red line tape or something on here just for quickness. Obviously I wouldn't recommend that you actually use these, but these are just some glue dots I'm just going to use just for the sake of this tutorial. So pop those on there. And there. Oops. Get them everywhere now. So just pop those on there. And then what you're going to do is just fold those in. So fold the tabs in. All right, so you're just folding those in so they're nicely lined up. Of course, you take a lot longer over this than what I am. And that's the nice thing with wet glue. Obviously, it gives you a bit of wiggle time as well, doesn't it? So, so that's your ends all stuck. And then what you would do is to either get wet glue, red line tape or something, and you would just then glue this down as well. All right. So then that is all down as well. So then you have got your tray. Now, to make your acetate lid, you need a piece of acetate measuring 8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And what you're going to need to do on that, and I don't know if you're going to see this very well, is you score all 4 sides at 7/8 of an inch. Now, a word of warning, you are going to have to go over this and score it a couple of times, because obviously it is a thicker material. And then you just reinforce those, and then at your ends what you do is, like before, you just, I don't know if you can see that, you just take a little snip up and you take some out. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that very well. Can you see? Hopefully you can. So you snip up again and you just take that out. So then what you would do is you would get your glue dots. Now, I did use glue dots on the acetate, if I'm honest, because it's not seen from the outside. And then what you would do is just tuck your tabs in, okay, and round the other way. So that's what you do. And then that fits, when it's all done properly, that fits snugly inside our box. Then what we would need to do is to make our belly band. And I haven't actually made one up, but for our belly band, you need a piece of cardstock, and I'll write this down, which is 6 1/4 by 1 1/2.